And I'm happy to have here with me the founder of e-NABLE. e-NABLE is a charitable organization that's using technology to bring low-cost prosthetics to those in need. Dr. Scholl? Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Pleasure.
Hey, so why don't you start off and tell us a little about what's going on?
You know, science fiction writer William Gibson observed once that the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. And about 8 months ago, I watched a YouTube video and found one of those patches of the future that was really pretty interesting. The carpenter and the prop maker, Richard Van Az and Ivan Owen, discovered after they solved the carpenter's problem that 1 in 1,000 kids is born missing fingers.
1 in 1,000 children.
That's right. And they had a solution available to them that could really change a lot of lives. I noticed that a number of people who saw a YouTube video that they had done said, gee, that's really cool. You know, I have a 3D printer. I think it'd be really interesting. I'd be really happy to do this for people. And so I had an idea. I just created a Google map.
Okay.
And I put one little comment on that YouTube video that was going around saying, if you have a 3D printer and would like to make a hand for someone somewhere who could use one, just add your name to this map, put a pin in the map. And they did. They went from about 7 people who commented on the video to about 20 people who put themselves on the map. Within a month, 6 weeks, we had about 70 people.
Oh my.
I created an online community called e-NABLE, like email, only enabling technology. And that group has grown in about 6 months from 20 people to, as of last night, 319 people all over the world with 3D printers. Thank you. Who are having the times of their lives advancing these designs, sharing their notes, doing innovation and fabrication in the cloud, making partnerships with families and with kids. We have parents who are teaching other parents now how to get and use 3D printers, how to build hands. We have 19-year-old kids who've now gone from the e-NABLE Google community to a website that I invite you to visit called Enabling the Future. There's a Facebook page. And every day something new and interesting is happening.
It's a continuous innovation cycle of people bringing down the designs, modifying them, improving upon them, pushing it back into all open source, right? It's all open source. The next guy grabs it, and it just propagates. Tell us about the community. You're using high school classes.
Well, that's right. One of the interesting developments is that there are a number of schools these days that have 3D printers and, of course, personal computers. And in a school of a few thousand students, there's likely to be someone who could really use one of these. And so you've got high school classes that are now learning the technology, learning how to do the modeling and do the printing and do the customizing and do the serving. And it's, you know, potentially we're trying to develop a curriculum around that as just one of the many spin-offs of this kind of thing.
It's a whole new wave.
It is.
And I understand you have a very special friend that you brought with you today.
I do. You know, one of the interesting things about this is that it seems to be unearthing new ways of doing things. So you've got collaborative computing in the cloud, you've got connected communities, you have collective intelligence and compassion, collaborative innovation, and new ways of learning, of helping, and maybe even new ways of being human. Peregrine Hawthorne, who's going to come out, describes himself as a cyborg. And
a cyborg.
He and his
Hey, Peregrine.
He and his dad were actually among the first people to build one for themselves.
How are you, Peregrine? Nice to see you. Come on over. So Peregrine's 19 years old, and why don't you just tell us a little bit about your story?
All right, so all this started for me was about 9 months ago. I saw a video of a small child, maybe 5 years old, who, with a hand like mine, with no fingers, and he was using a 3D printed prosthetic hand to pick up small objects off a table. And after I retrieved my jaw from the floor, I contacted my dad, who has a history in tinkering with things, and we started hooking things. started trying to get me hooked up with this thing.
And your dad doesn't live with you. He's on the other side of the country. So
Yeah.
you're collaborating online with your dad,
Yes.
using the resources available through open source.
Yeah.
And your dad, you said, is a tinker, so he was all in the game.
Yeah, he lives in Southwest Virginia. I'm based up in Seattle. And for the first couple months, this was all solo stuff. We downloaded the files from Thingiverse, and we printed them out and started putting together. Took about us 2 months to get something we could call a hand.
So in 2 months, from idea to having something that you would consider a functioning hand, 2 months. Congratulations. So you have to show us how it works.
Yeah, so now it's been 7 months of working on it. I now have this hand here, and it's
quite stylized. You even have the embossing, very fancy.
It's a quality work of craftsmanship at this point. It's 3D printed plastic, nylon cables, elastics, and it's
very easily.
It's very easily. I can just slip it on.
And he has got quite a grip. So you have to tell us. You have to. So Peregrine, you have to. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have to tell us, what can you do now that you couldn't do before?
The biggest thing is that I don't have to make the choice between holding an object and manipulating it. I can hold something and do something at the
Doesn't
same
that
time.
sound so simple to us? Hold and manipulate. And that's a choice that he would make. And now?
And now I can hold something and
manage it at the same time.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And you have to tell us, you recently had a pretty labor-intensive job.
Yeah, for the past couple months, I had been working at FedEx as a part-time package handler. I was working in the warehouse, sorting boxes.
Picking up all day long, picking up and sorting boxes.
And yeah, for the first couple weeks of this, the hand was down for repairs, and I could do it well enough. After a long shift, my right hand would often be very sore from just the strain. After I got this hand back and got it up in working order, I'd say my productivity increased by at least 100%.
I can imagine. Having two hands is far easier than one. And you got to tell these folks, so Dr. Scho, what would a prosthetic arm, if you were so fortunate to go out and buy one, what would it naturally cost you?
If you could buy one, and fingers are hard because you've got that pesky hand in the way. If you could buy one, it would be $10,000 to $80,000.
And how much did you pay for this, Peregrine?
This in raw materials was about $50.
50 bucks. Bringing technology to the masses. Absolutely, absolutely impressive.
And people are making them at home now.
People are making it at home.
They get a 3D printer, they make it. As the child grows, they make a new one.
Yep, it's so easy. Right. So tell us quickly, what are you doing next?
Next, I'm going to be I'm joining AmeriCorps FEMA for a 10-month program. I'm going to be doing disaster relief work, and every day I'm working with engineers and tinkerers and parents from around the world.
And you're going to keep this innovation cycling and just continue to innovate and help others in need too. And you're really a remarkable person. Thank you so much. I got to try out the hand one more time. Ow.
Sorry, not trying to.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.